Alrighty, it is Wednesday, but I have to go back to Tuesday really quick. So, after I recorded audio, I went back on, I unloaded the phone, I edited the audio. I managed to finish like at least 3 audio files, I believe. I also completed the pages at 7. I passed them off to Monica at like 7:22. I got off and we ate a light dinner, and then we went straight to bed, and I had a bunch of weird ass dreams. I can't even. I woke up sometime at 5:45 to see if I could get an audio 2 done, because Monica wanted to go to get water at 6. So I only managed to complete like 1 audio file. I did also complete the draft for page 12, and then she got up and we left for Vaughn's to get water. She also ended up picking up another thing of eggs, and she got some mustard because she really wanted mustard. So we got home at like 7:16. I resumed editing the audio. I managed to finish at like 8. And then I went to the laptop. I assembled and compressed the video, and I also typed out all I could up until the bell got to Agnes. And I was really happy about that. So that's where I stopped, where like right when he gets to her, I ended up stopping right there because I wasn't sure like how to continue from that point. I know that the next thing supposed to happen is that Loris is supposed to go up against Philippe, but I don't know how much I want to have happen in that case by that point. So I have to think about that a little bit more. So Monica ends up finishing the pages, and then she went to Burger King because we were talking about using some of the coupons because they're going to expire this month. And we've had these coupons since like either last month or the month before. I can't remember. I think we got them since March. So like she went to go do that, and then she ended up getting a voicemail. So I ended up texting her, but she didn't bring her phone, so she never got the text. She got back at like 9:43, right when I was just finishing the video. So I ended up getting off. We ate lunch, and then she ended up checking the voicemail she got. Apparently, from the CCS called her, and they told her that she finally has a new care coordinator. So, yeah, so many months too late. So after that, we ended up walking around. I think we walked around for like, I'm going to say 25 minutes. It was like not a perfect 30 minutes. We walked around until 10:30, and then we went back on. I uploaded the video. I finished the script for chapter 101. I was also trying to shade at the same time. I had to complete the art for pages 7 and 8. I just didn't do the effects. And then I got off at like 12:40 something. So after that, we walked for another 30 minutes, and then we slept until 3. At least I slept until 3. I don't know about her. I went back on. I finished the pages. I loaded them at like 3:57. And right now, she is rereading Dita. This is making me feel a little bit anxious. I don't know. She likes it so far, which makes me happy, but like she has a completely different opinion than what people who actually read it felt about it. Most people thought it was boring, but like she's actually really enjoying it. So I don't know. I guess it's more to our taste than other people's taste. Okay, so this is what I need to do. I need to line art pages 9 and 10. I just finished proofreading through chapter was it 74? So that's coming out tomorrow. I don't know if things are going to improve for the comic. I know that Tapas is supposed to change their layout soon, so I feel like last week's chapter did like horribly, so I'm not really expecting that this week's chapter to do any better. So yeah. Is there anything else that's on my mind? Anything else? No, I just need to get to the next 2 pages. I've already started line arting a little bit of page 9. It's not done yet, so I think I can get it done pretty soon. Is there anything else? No, I think that's virtually it already then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Thursday, but I have to go back to Wednesday really quick. So after I recorded audio, I went back to line arting pages 9 and 10. I finished them at 4:51, and I assembled and passed them off to Monica at 5:17. And then I got off and I did the storyboard for chapter 101. The entire script did not fit in that chapter. I ended up having to cut off right after Philippe starts to try to kill the bell. After that, Monica ended up getting off, and then she made some chicken, and then we went to bed. Everything was perfectly fine until the following morning. I woke up at like sometime around 3, and I had like this weird, like, I guess intestinal pain. I ended up going to the bathroom and like I was in so much pain. Like I was in pain between my like what's it called? Urethra area and then my anus area. All that part was hurting. So when I looked it up on the internet, it seems like what caused this might be some type of like urinary tract infection I randomly got. I don't know. I thought it had something to do with the fast food we ate yesterday, but Monica's fine, which makes me upset. Oh my God. So yeah, I ended up getting up at like 4:50. I worked a little bit on the scripts and the drafts. I printed out all the drafts for chapter 101, and then Monica came to join me sometime around like 5:44. She completed and passed the pages off to me at like 6:30, so I stopped working on the script and I was shading until like 8, and then I got off at 8:15. So yeah, she ended up getting off at like 8:40. So we walked around for 30 minutes and then we rested until 7. And then she ended up calling back her new care coordinator and they talked for a little bit. By that point, I thought I was fine because like the pain had greatly subsided. It's like I could easily move around without having to feel any pain whatsoever. I went back on at 11. I worked on pages 9 and 10. I finished page 9, but then I stopped to eat lunch with Monica and then we got caught up with Brand New Animal. I did not realize that it was so much farther than the last time I watched it. We left off at like episode 6, so we had to continue from episode 7, but it's already on episode 12, which makes me feel like where was all these episodes? I never saw an update this last like so many months. In this episode, she met some type of like albatross guy, and then there was also this human man. Did they really name another character Alan? Like, are you serious? And he was having a problem with her friend's group, and in the end her friend ended up saving him from some other guy trying to kill him. So that was like the gist of what happened. But the most important thing is that this is where she learns how to fly, as in the main character learns how to fly from the albatross guy. This explains everything because when we started watching at like I think it was episode 10 or something. It was like the wrong episode. This explains why she had wings suddenly in that clip, because we weren't sure where she got them from. I thought she got them from the birds that she's living with. I assume that both of them are birds. I know that the one of them is a rooster. The man, I think. I don't know if his wife is also a rooster. I assume that that's where she got the ability from, but no, it's not. Oh well. Okay, so afterward, I ended up finishing and loading the pages at like 12:48. I started line arting pages 11 and 12 after that. I finished and scanned the pages by 1:48, and then I passed the page off to Monica at 2:30. We rested until 3:30, and we tried to walk around, and that's suddenly when I was like overcome with all this pain. And so now I'm in the restroom. The pain is still going on. All I felt so far is that I have gas and that's it, which is kind of annoying. Other than that, I don't really know what else to do right now because like nothing is happening. I can't really move around while I'm in pain like this. Like I dropped something and I couldn't bend over to pick it up because it was aggravating my my intestines. So like I'm not really sure what to do or how long to stay like this before I actually go get help, because of the coronavirus situation, like people are less like likely to meet people in person, and this is kind of one of those things I think I would have to meet someone in person to like fix, kind of thing. Because like when I was looking it up on the internet, they said it might require antibiotics if it's a really bad problem, but if it's not that bad, you could literally like bounce back from it on your own, which I'm not really sure if I can. I hope I can though. I'm not really sure though. Is there anything else that's on my mind? Anything else? So chapter 102 is basically almost done. What I already have written for it is like the majority of the chapter, and so I'm trying to think of the best segue after Flores comes in and what he does with Philippe. I haven't really decided, and I thought maybe I should end the scene with Pasha. I was considering just having Pasha see where I was going, but then it also occurred to me maybe Marie or somebody should contact him and ask him, where did he go and why didn't he join up with them? But at the same time, you think she'd be more concerned about what's happening with Fauna. So I'm like, I don't really know. All I know is that I feel like that's basically where I left off with it. I just dabbled around with it a little bit. I didn't get much of a time to work on it. The only other thing I worked on today was my my Tapas account, I went back to the end of my favorites list and I went through it just to make sure I had only actively posting comics, just to make sure I didn't like miss a few things. I found a few series that hadn't updated for a while that I forgot to unfollow, but then it occurred to me that maybe I was wrong about that, and they actually had changed their lineup from oldest to newest. So I think I just unsubbed from some series that were still reoccurring, which upsets me because I don't remember which series they were. However, I did find a few series that were dead and hadn't done anything. And yet for some reason I forgot to unfavorite them. So I got those, and I found a few series that were like super mega popular. They didn't need the sub kind of thing. So I ended up letting those go. I think at max I had like 2 or 3 of them. So I was able to do it like in barely 10 pages. So right now I'm on number 69 or 68. I can't remember. I'm getting really close to the 50 mark, which makes me happy. That means that once I hit 50, I'm even closer to getting to the first page, which makes me happy because like I haven't really been like monitoring this section of my account since like I finished Ho Hum Ditum. And like, there's going to be a huge disparity between when I was working on Ho Hum Ditum and when I started working on the sequel. So I figure that once I get there, I think that the majority of the newer series should already be updating, and I won't have to go comb through them. Is there anything else that's on my mind besides that? I also don't know if I'll be able to tell apart the stories from the comics, because I did save a few stories, and some of them I didn't mean to save them. So like, it's not that I don't like the fact that Tapas has stories. It's just that I kind of wish they didn't mix these two subgroups together, because like the story writers, once they showed up onto the forum, they weren't very sociable in a positive way. Some of them had like immensely bad attitudes. So like, I don't know. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, I guess that's virtually it. Alrighty then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Friday, but I have to go back to Thursday really quick. So after record audio, I did a little bit of brainstorming for chapter 103. I made some really good points. I have to take them off of the phone so I can put them in the story. After that, Monica ended up getting off the computer sometime around 5. And then we walked around for 30 minutes. And then after that, we ended up going straight to bed. I ended up waking up sometime around 1. I was in a little bit of pain, but once I changed positions, I was fine. So I guess that wasn't much of a problem. I got out of bed at like 4:40, and then I went straight to work on pages 11 and 12. Monica got out of bed at like 5:45. She made hard-boiled eggs. And then I worked on the artwork until like 6:50. I took a really quick break at 7. The only thing I had left to do was a couple of the graphic effects, and then the speed lines, and then the text. That's all I had left to do. So yeah, we walked around for an hour, took a shower, slept until like 10:45. I resumed work on pages 11 and 12. Monica came to join me at 12 noon. And then we stopped to eat lunch. I updated my journal while we were watching random stuff on YouTube. And then I managed to finish and load the pages at like 1 p.m. After that, I ended up working a little bit on chapter 102. And then I printed it out as is. I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep everything like this. It's in like it's either 9.7 or 9.8 font. I can't remember what It's like a little bit under 12 because I added a couple of extra things. I'm not sure if I'm going to get everything in this though. So yeah. we ended up walking around for 30 minutes after that, and then we slept until 4. So it's 4 o'clock right now. I have two choices. I could go back on and start something else, or I could start working on the next chapter. I don't know, because like I think the best thing I can possibly do is to just like listen to that file, take the file off the phone, and then listen through it, and then just type out whatever notes I need for the next chapter. And that is the best thing I can possibly do right now. It's either that or chapter 101. Start doing the drawing for it. So yeah. I'm in a bit of pain right now because I just went to the restroom, and I'm not sure if that means that I'm going to have to use the toilet eventually, because that's what happened last time yesterday. It was around this time I was in pain and then I needed to use the restroom. So I think I probably should like hold out for that. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to have to find out when I get there. Is there anything else that's on my mind? Anything else of importance? I keep feeling this month is almost over. That's not true though. I still have 3 chapters left to do. I only have like scripts ready for 2 of them. So I still need to do 103. I hope I can get through it because there's not very much that needs to happen in that chapter. So like I could get away with the bare minimum happening. I don't know. I have to think about it. Most likely if I keep the font at 10, I should be able to like figure out what I want to do with it. I didn't really get a chance to make Loris and Philippe do anything in the last chapter because I ran out of room. And if I end up getting to the scene where Loris gets to Philippe, I wonder if I should do something else with it. I don't know. It's so hard to decide. I'll figure out when I get there. Alrighty then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Saturday, but I have to go back to Friday really quick. So after I record audio, I went back to work on the next script. I listened through the audio. I took all the notes I possibly could. And I don't know. I feel like it's not enough information to go by. I mean, I got some really like nice stuff written down, but like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Ended up getting tired. I stopped at like 5:40. We went straight to bed. Had a little bit of trouble getting comfortable because of my pain, but I managed to sleep most of the night. I woke up sometime between like 2 and 3. I got out of bed at 5:40. I went straight to work on the next chapter, pages 1 and 2. As for my pain, I feel like it's subsided. I don't feel like pain when I pee anymore. And when I pass gas, I'm still waiting to poop. I haven't pooped since the day that this started. It's already been like, what, a day and a half, I guess? I don't know. I'm just still waiting for it. Maybe tomorrow I might feel better. Okay, so Monica came to join me sometime around 6. We got off at 6:20 to go to Walmart. It was a bit too early. They still had a long line of people, and they were only allow a little bit of people in at a time. The few times we had been to Walmart, it was always like on like 8 or 9 when we went. So they pretty much got their stuff figured out by that point. Other than that, we were like in the third group to get in, I believe. I'm not sure. So the first thing we did was look at the stationery. Monica ended up getting the new Sharpie gel pens because she wanted to see how those were like. They're a bit weighted in specific areas that most like gel pens aren't. I compared it to my my Pilot Acro Ball. It's just basically the same weight, but where it's weighted is weird. So after that, we looked at the bikes, and all the bikes are gone. So I assume that they must have like sold them all, or they must be like changing up their inventory of them. I don't know if we're ever going to see bikes again, but the bikes are gone. Other than that, we ended up getting the food, and then when we paid, I didn't get all my pennies into the machine. I ended up finding a few more, and I was like, shit, I forgot these. So I have a few pens I have to try to use next time we go to Walmart, unless we go to Target, because like I can use this money at Target too. At the same time, no, not really. They're very particular about, you know, where you are when you pay, and it's been a while since we've used the automated machine. Other than that, we got home at 8:15. We ate breakfast. And then we left at 9 for Vaughn's to get water. Monica also went into Vaughn's to get more strawberries and carrots. And then I refilled the water bottles. On the way there, we found a lot of like recyclables and some extra money. So I got an extra dime and an extra penny. And then we got back. I did not see when we got back. All I know is that as soon as we were home, I started working on pages 1, 2, and 3. I managed to like line art all of page 2. I still had stuff I had to do with 1 and 3 because I didn't have references for Agnes and Loris at the time. So yeah. After that, we ended up getting off at like 11:50. We ate lunch and then we rested until like 2:18. So I was actually legitimately asleep. Didn't have trouble sleeping. Felt much better. In fact, I was actually expecting the bike ride to Walmart to be like really hard on my body, but like I've been pretty good. I mean, the most I've ever had is I needed to pee badly and that was it. But like it didn't hurt as much. So yeah. Other than that, so I went back on. I completed pages 1 and 3's line arts, and then I scanned them at like 3:50. I ended up going to Monica and telling her that little Richard died, which like it really hurt us because like we really liked his music when we were children. And it upsets me that the only thing people know him for is the Magic School Bus. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? He did all these songs. I'm just, it makes me so angry. It reminded me of the time when I think it was during the, what's the name of the music awards? During the time of the music awards, when he was with this woman or man, and he was, I think it was a woman. He was supposed to announce the winner of one of the awards with her, and like he ended up going off script and just getting mad at that because he's been in music for such a long time and no one's ever given him an award for anything, and it was really funny, but like it was totally him. I guess that's my most significant memory of him. In the meanwhile, so Monica ended up joining me after that, and we ended up trying the red velvet cupcakes. We're supposed to save them for tomorrow. They're actually pretty good. So I passed page 1 off to Monica, and then I worked on pages 2 and 3, and then I just got off right now at 4:22. So this is what I need to do. The storyboard for chapter 102 is not done yet. I technically should do it right now, but I'm kind of beat. I've been working on the pages, so I kind of don't want to work on it right now. At the same time, it's not going to take me that long to get through it. I might as well just go through it already. I want to be able to print out the drafts so that way I can have two chapters worth of drafts ready for the rest of the month. Then I need to figure out what I'm gonna do about 103, because like all I have to do is 103, and then I don't have to worry about the rest of this month. And then I'm thinking 103 is probably going to be linked with 104 and 105, so I'm not really sure. I'm gonna see if I can at least get it up to 105. 3 things happen: the battle with Loris and Philippe, the battle with Philippe and Fouillard, and I'm trying to remember. Loris and Philippe and Fouillard, and then what's it called? No, I think that's virtually it. I don't know if I can get the battle of Philippe and Fouillard and the thing that's supposed to happen after it all done in the same time. I do have a idea for a scene where certain members of the Hurricane Brigade come over to try to help, but like I feel like it only makes sense for it to be Simon. It feels like anyone else would probably just slow it down, possibly like Shasta, but at the same time I see Shasta wanting to go because of Pasha. I don't know. It's either that or Simon ends up taking Marie, which kind of makes sense. He could literally just pick her up and run. I don't know. I have to think about it. Is there anything else that's on my mind? I'm so happy to know that like I'm getting very close to the end of the arc, and then after that it's the Hurricane Brigade arc, which I don't know how long it's going to take. I projected up until volume 14, which I don't expect to need all of it. honestly. And I wouldn't mind for the last like 4 chapters of volume 14 to be the grand finale and the 3 specials, which I don't really know if that's going to work out. I'm hoping that the situation where all the character stories wrap up one after the other happens very fast, because like there really is nothing else to say about what's going on. So I feel like what's it called, Pasha has to get his resolution, etc. Is there anything else I could possibly think of? No, nothing else is coming to mind at the moment. All right, I guess I'll just work on the storyboard so I can get that out of the way. There's always a worry that the script is inadequate and I'm going to have to send it back, which I don't want to. I'm worried about that because I don't have enough content after that one point. So I feel like I have to get everything to fit with whatever I have, or else like I'm shit. Okay. All right then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Sunday, but I have to go back to Saturday really quick. So after I recorded audio, I ended up completing the storyboard for chapter 102. I could not fit everything in it. I tried really hard to get to the part with Agnes, but like I only had like 3 panels left, and I was like, okay, if I have to, I'm gonna cut right before when it seems like Philippe is gonna kill Abel. So I left it at that. We ended up walking around for a bit and then we went to bed. I had a really shitty time sleeping. Still in pain, but I don't know if it's subsiding because like I don't feel it right now, but like this morning I kind of could feel it. I woke up at 4. I got up at 4:30. I sort of pooped. I didn't expect to because like nothing had happened in the last 2 days, so I wasn't expecting to poop, but like it wasn't anything to write home about, so like I'm still waiting for a better bowel movement. I'm still worried about it, especially since this whole infection thing started. So yeah, I printed out the drafts for 102, and then Monica came to join me at like 5:30. She went straight to reading Hohem Dietem, and then I completed the art for page 2. I took a break at like 7:30, and then she got off at 8, and then we decided to hit Target and Walgreens. So it turns out the building where Fallas Predis used to be, and I think it was Payless shoe store. I'm not 100% sure if it was a Payless or if it was in a different shoe store. There was a shoe store there. The 2 buildings are now becoming a WSS, which is a really big shoe store. So that's taking over the Fallas Predis, and then the dentistry is taking up the space of the original shoe store, which was a tiny shoe store. So that's interesting. I'm wondering like how much of the building is going to become a WSS, because like I don't think WSS can take up the whole entire space, because the Fallas Predis building was pretty big. So we're gonna have to find out. Monica wants to get some shoes there, but like I'm expecting it to be fucking expensive. So yeah, we went to Target. We ended up buying grandma's chicken, and then we walked to Walgreens. She got her shampoo, and then we got home at like 9:30. So I went back on at 10. We ate lunch and we watched the Villainous anime. And in this anime, she was on summer break and she didn't get any of her homework done the whole entire time because she was too busy messing around with everybody. I'm not enjoying this scenario where she's being dumb to like everyone's feelings towards her, and everyone's just coming at her very strongly, and everyone's obsessed with her. And it surprised me that what's her name, Sophia, tried to hook her up with her brother. It just made me feel like, what is all this? What is all this? So like, I don't know. I'm just, it's annoying. I really just want to know where this is going. I feel like it's just basking in the moment of how dumb this is. I'm tempted to read it ahead because I'm just getting so bored with it. So yeah. Alrighty. So I ended up coloring until 12. We took a break. All I had left to do was the backgrounds. And then I picked up that photo album that we got like a couple of months ago. Actually, it's quite a long time ago. I almost would argue it's been a year since I got the photo albums. But I ended up destroying a little bit of my old vision board book. because I tried to make it myself and it wasn't very structurally sound, and a lot of the pictures inside of it were wrinkled because of how I made it. So I ended up removing a lot of the printouts, and I put them on individual like photo size cards, and so now they're in the photo album book, which is what I originally intended the book to be. So I don't like how I set a lot of the stuff up in that book. I kind of felt like I should do it a little bit better, but I wanted to make sure there was room for some notes, but I don't have any notes as of right now. So like I just have all this extra space, so it's nice so I can look at it. But like other than that, the only thing that upsets me was that I ended up mounting the printouts I removed to watercolor paper, and so now they're kind of like weighing down the center of the book, which it's a little bit of a problem in my opinion. But like maybe I should just reorganize the book a little bit so that way it's not the weighting of the watercolor paper isn't so awkward. I shouldn't have used watercolor paper. I should just use the regular cardstock. So yeah. After that, we walked around for 30 minutes. And then I went back on the computer at 2:30. I finished page 1, but I ended up stopping to eat dinner at like 3:20. And then I finished and loaded the first two pages at 4, and I got off. So this is what I need to do. At some point, I need to come back and do page 4. Page 3 is already done. I just need to do page 4 and then do the rest of them tomorrow. But like this is where combat starts to happen, so I need some time to like draw out some poses that I think would be best suited for this. So it's Labelle versus Foley. There's only going to be 2 major like panels for this, but I have to really think about the poses I want to do with it. So that's virtually it. Is there anything else that's on my mind besides that? Anything else? I'm trying to think. What else is there? No, nothing else is coming to mind as the moment of what else I need to do besides page 4. But all I'm concerned about is getting a little bit of sleep right now, because I'm pretty tired, especially from all that walking. And what else is there? No, I can't think of anything else I need to do besides getting a little bit of a nap so I can come back and work on page 4. I better have page 4 done before tomorrow, because I'm going to be in such a shitty position if I don't get it done on time. I mean, it would have saved me some time if I worked on page 3 today. So then I would have to I wouldn't have to worry about page 3 tomorrow. So annoying. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, I guess that's virtually it. Alrighty then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Monday, but I have to go back to Sunday really quick. So after I recorded audio, I slept until 8, I think. I'm not really sure. I don't remember actually falling asleep. I remember laying around until 8, but it says right here that I slept until 8, so I'm gonna have to take that. Went back on. I went to work on page 4, and then I passed it off to Monica at 9:40, and then I went to bed right after. She didn't get to color it in because she was doing something else, but I forgot what she was doing. I think she was typing out entries for her journal or something at the time. But as soon as I gave it to her, she went to sleep, so we went to bed together. Latest that I was awake was 11, so that was an hour of just laying there trying to sleep. But I managed to sleep the whole night through. I woke up at 5, I got up at 5:30, and then I went on the computer at 5:50. Monica joined me at 6:10. And she ended up finishing page 4's coloring right as I finished all the artwork for page 3. So all I could do was just set up page 4 to color. And after I was done, I got off at 7:47, and then Monica got off at 7:50, and then we went for a long walk at 8 o'clock. We went all the way to the colonies. In the process, we saw I don't know what the name of that place is. There used to be some type of plant, some type of manufacturing plant that was next to it. And last time we were there during Christmas, we saw they were building houses, and they built a ton of more houses since then. It's only been like 5 months since we last been there, and like, oh my god, there was so many more houses. It looks really, really good. So yeah, we wandered around the colonies. I found a bunch of bottles in the process. We got back at like 9:14, rested until like 10:40 something. I don't remember. 10:40 something. What time? I guess it was just 10:40. And then I resumed work on page 4, and then Monica came to join me at like 11:30. And then I stopped at like 11:50 to eat lunch and watch Princess Connect. I had to proof check the episode because the last episode was so horrible. It seems like something happened to Carol, and so she had to stay at that clinic. I don't know. All I know is that she came back feeling better. I don't see how that was a horrible place. Oh my god. I don't want to have to go back and find out why she had to stay there. But the episode we were watching was only like the part 1 of... I assume this is going to be a 2-episode thing what happened. But basically, they went on a quest to some place to pick spices because Pecorine wanted spices. And then there was a B plot where a bunch of girls were trying to get to a specific destination, and they ended up, I don't know if they ended up coming across a person or they ended up coming across like these creatures that could just like copy their physical appearance and fight them. So one of the characters that they met, as in the main characters met, actually is I think related to one of the characters in the other scene, and that's why we're supposed to care. So I figure it's going to be resolved in the next episode. If it's not resolved in the next episode, it's going to be resolved in the 3rd episode. I don't know. I really only see this being like a 2-episode thing. But like Monica lost interest the moment they showed the B plot group, because like we didn't know who they were. They never set anything up for them, and like we just didn't care. We only cared about the main characters. So yeah, so I finished the art for page 4 at like 12:30, and then I stopped a little bit to draw page 5 and 6. We were watching also YouTube videos. I think we watched like a couple of cooking videos, and so she was doing that while I was drawing. I only managed to complete page 5 and scan it, and that's it. So I have to do page 6 later, but I need to finish pages 3 and 4. I need to put text on them. I got off at like 12:47, and then we walked around for 30 minutes, and then we rested until like 3:46. Actually, I don't know how long Monica's been resting. All I know is that I woke up and it was like 3:46. So this is what I need to do. I need to unload this phone. I need to edit the audio. I need to put text on pages 3 and 4, and I need to finish the draft for page 6. So I'm going to do it in this order. I'm going to start with the text, and as soon as I'm done with the text, I'm going to do the editing of the audio, and then the draft for page 6, and then the liner for page 5 and 6 by that point. So like I don't know how well I'm going to do, because I figure if I don't end up staying up well into the night, I'm probably going to only do like an hour and a half and then go back to sleep. I don't know. Well, it just depends. So as for the script, I did not work on the script today. That's not a good thing. So I'm thinking tomorrow when I'm doing the compressing of the video, I will start converting the scenes that I have for the script up until like I'm done with the video, because I know what's supposed to happen between Philippe and Loris, but I don't have much of a... I have too many ideas for the scene with Philippe and Foyer, because I was trying to nail down what was like the most important the most important lines in that, and I don't expect the fight between Philippe and Loris to be very long. So like I feel like most of it's probably going to be the fight between at least the first half of the fight between Philippe and Foyer. I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. Because like the last chapter, I couldn't fit very much into it because it was mostly just action. So I had to figure out like what font size that needed to be, so I can figure out what font size this this chapter needs to be. I don't know, I just have to mess with it. So if I actually succeed and I manage to get chapter 103 done this week, then I'm going to go straight to the extras. I'm going to do either I'm going to do the hard extras first or the easy extras first. I have to figure it out because like I only have a few extras in mind for it so far. So I'm thinking about just doing the ones that I know for a fact are going to be in this volume. And then once I get those started, I can go back and try to fill in the other things I think are going to be in it, because like I already did the hard part. I wrote down what happened in each chapter so I can figure out like what to do. Other than that, maybe I have to actually go back and look at some of the chapters to think of the best thing to put. Other than that, I'm almost out of like character pages. All I have is Warren, Ivy, and Loris, and that's it. I can't do Agnes because Agnes was an original character and all the other characters weren't. Same thing for Pasha. I can't do Pasha because Pasha is an original character. So the only point of having those character pages was because I was showing the difference between them when I first came up with the concept in contrast with what they look like now. So if I were to show Agnes and Pasha, I feel like the only way for people to tell it's a difference between Agnes in the beginning and Agnes in the current chapters is to actually go back to when I first started drawing her, which like she actually does look significantly different. Her bangs are so much different now. Same thing for Pasha, sort of. I do have some preliminary sketches of him in his character line page on the official site, and then that's the closest thing to this is what he originally looked like when I was like beta testing his design, which is not the image I ended up going with. So like I don't know, I just feel like I don't have any other characters. I mean, I could try showing like Tag, because like I know what Tag looked like when I first started doing that character, but Tag isn't that important, and like I don't think Tag and Winder come back until like the next fall. Actually, no, I think I do have a chapter no, I think it's the next volume. It's not in this volume. There's a chapter, and I think it's in volume 10, where Tag and Winder are talking to each other, and I think that's like the only place where I can possibly show their original character designs. Other than that, I don't really know if I want to do that because I don't really feel like they're that important, but they do have them. The like an original version that doesn't look anything like their current version, because like the original Winder was blonde. Okay, is there anything else that I can possibly think of to talk about? Because if there isn't, I should just go back on right now. No, nothing is coming to mind. Alright then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one.